So over here, this segment, you're looking at the chemical properties of your alcohol. Okay, so you just put a note there. So chemical properties of alcohol. So there's two main reactions we are looking at, which is the chemical properties. One, you'll be looking at the combustion reaction. The second one is actually your question 3, where you look at your oxidation reaction. So these are the two chemical properties of alcohol you relate to if they ask you for it. Physical property will be similar to the one that you have for your alkane and alkene, so we are not going through that as well. Okay, so again, alcohol are actually used as fuels for vehicles. In fact, due to the shortage of fossil fuel that we have, right, scientists is trying to make alcohol from maize plant. Okay, so they are actually trying to convert most of them into biofuel. Okay, so for this part, you are asked to write a full chemical equation for the combustion of your propanol. Then the other one is incomplete combustion. So again, you all need to take note, it's two different alcohol. One is complete combustion. The other one is incomplete combustion. Okay, so if you start off with your propanol, C3H7OH. Again, this is a liquid. Remember, all alcohols are liquid. You will react with oxygen, which is a gas. Then you form, what's the product for complete combustion? Steam and carbon dioxide. Okay? Now, I went through the shortcut method of how you actually balance the equation for combustion reaction for alkane and alkene. When it comes to combustion reaction involving alcohol, there's a slight difference. Okay, so I'm going to run through your first part with you. Okay, so let me just copy this at the top. Your C3H7OH plus oxygen will give you carbon dioxide plus steam. Okay, so let's focus on this part. So I'm going to count the atoms on both sides of the equation. So 3 carbon, 8 hydrogen, 1 oxygen. 2 oxygen, 1 carbon, 2 oxygen, and then this is what you have. Okay, when you did alkane and alkene, right, you realize that your oxygen only comes from oxygen gas. But when you're trying to balance a chemical equation involving alcohol, there's an oxygen in alcohol. So you need to remember there's one that you always need to minus off before you balance it. Yeah, so this is something you need to take note of. Most of the time students forget this, then in the end they end up with the wrong equation that's not balanced. Okay, so same way to balance it. You balance the number of carbon first. So I'll put a 3 here. This becomes 3, this becomes 6. Then I got 8 hydrogen, so 4 here. 8, then 4. Okay? Okay, so after adding up, you realize that 6 oxygen plus 4 oxygen give you a total of 10 oxygen. So meaning over here, I must also have 10 oxygen. But I already mentioned earlier, I have 1 oxygen atom here. So if you take 10 minus 1, you should end up with 9. Okay? So my question is, how to make this into 9 oxygen? So what number times 2 end up with 9? 4.5. So you ask yourself, can put a 4.5 or not? Cannot, right? So if I were to put a 4.5 here, which is 9 over 2 lah, what will you do? Yeah, you cannot put 4.5. How to make it a whole number? What will you do to make your 0.5 into a whole number? For math, what will you do? You multiply by 2. You multiply the whole thing by 2 throughout. So when there's no number here, you know that it's a 1, right? So if I multiply everything by 2 throughout, means this becomes a 2. Okay, let me change the color. This becomes a 2. So 9 over 2 will then becomes your 9. Okay, then your 3 times 2 becomes 6. 4 times 2 becomes 8. So when you have your alcohol molecule, you realize that it will be a bit more complicated compared to the one we have learned earlier. Okay? Okay, So I've done your A for you. Later you try your B, can? So 2, 9, 6, 8. Okay, but for 2, please take note, you're actually looking at incomplete combustion of ethanol. Okay, you're looking at incomplete combustion of ethanol. So now your equation will look something like this instead. Incomplete combustion of ethanol, what do you get? Carbon monoxide, good. Okay, so please remember your product for complete and incomplete combustion. Okay, I'll give you a minute. Can you try to balance the second one on your own? Using the same method that I just went through earlier. Any number for C2H5OH? Need to write any number here or not? Need or don't need? Don't need. Here? 2. Here? 2. Here? 3. Okay, so y'all can balance. So 2, 2, 3. Can? Y'all got the wrong number. Okay, Okay, so this is the part for combustion, so very straightforward. Just remember the product for incomplete and complete combustion. Okay, question 3 will be something new because this is the special reaction that all alcohol undergo. You call it oxidation. Anyway, you learn oxidation when you did redox, so it's nothing new. It's just that this is in a slightly different context. Okay, so for part A, right, name the reactant that is commonly used in the lab that can be used to carry out oxidation process. What is a common oxidizing agent you have studied under redox? A very long name. Start with P. Potassium what? Acidify potassium. Not complete. Manganese is not complete. You need something behind. Yeah, 7. You call this 7. Solution. So this is the common oxidizing agent that you use in the lab. Okay? Chemical formula KNNO4. So when you're asked to name this, right, please remember I need to see the term acidify. If not, the reaction will be very slow. If not, it doesn't work. And make sure you remember that this is a solution. Yeah, this is the oxidation state for manganese. Manganese is a transition metal. Just like when you write iron, you don't write iron oxide, you write down iron 3 oxide. So when you have a transition metal, you always have the bracket Roman numeral. Remember to include the one in the bracket. If not, they will not give you the marks as well. Okay, so these are things you need to take note. Okay, so they will say give the chemical name of the carboxylic acid that is formed when your ethanol undergoes oxidation reaction. Okay, during oxidation reaction, only the number of oxygen atom and hydrogen atom changes. The number of carbon atoms remains the same. Okay, so in the space below, right, you just draw in this. Okay, I take ethanol as an example. So your ethanol looks like this. Okay, you draw in this. So during the during oxidation reaction, right, what you focus on is actually this part. Of the molecule. Okay, you focus on this part of the molecule, which means you need to look at the carbon atom that is bonded to the OH functional group. So during the oxidation reaction, your molecule will change into this structure instead. So now the structure looks like this. Tell me what's the difference between these two structures? Okay, gain how many oxygen? 1. Lost how many hydrogen? 2. Okay, so during the process, you realize that what happened is you actually lost two hydrogen atoms, and at the same time you gain one oxygen atom. Then you link back to your definition for oxidation where you learn redox. Okay, oxidation is defined as loss of oxygen, gain of hydrogen. So it speaks clearly when you compare the two structures together. This is why we say alcohol undergo oxidation to form carboxylic acid. Follow that? Okay, so during the oxidation process, only the number of oxygen and hydrogen atom changes. The number of carbon atom must remain the same. Okay, so please put a note there. Number of carbon atom must remain the same. Okay, so what does this mean to you? Meaning, if I give you ethanol, when it undergoes oxidation, you form your ethanoic acid. So you realize again, when you are looking at the prefix remains the same. So if I were to give you a methanol, okay, if I give you a methanol, so when methanol undergoes oxidation, you form methanoic acid. Okay, so again, the number of carbon remains the same. And if I were to give you a propanol, then you form your propanoic acid. Okay, so only the last part of the name changes. So from the OL, it becomes a IC acid. So this is how the name changes as well. Follow that? So if they name you any alcohol, you should be able to tell me what's the name of the carboxylic acid form. Similarly, you should be able to draw the structure for the carboxylic acid that's formed. So anyway, when you look at your worksheet 2 later on, you'll be familiar with the structure for the 3 carboxylic acid, okay, which is similar to what I've just drawn for you as well. Question? Okay, so there's 2 types of oxidation. One is the use of a chemical like this. The other one is what you call bacterial oxidation. Okay, so let's clear this first, then I move on to your bacterial oxidation. You're done with this part? Can I move back? Okay, so if you move back to your B part 1. Okay, move back to your B part 1. So give the name and the chemical formula of the carboxylic acid form when your ethanol undergoes oxidation. So you already answered this. The name is your ethanoic acid. The formula is your CH3COOH. Okay, I'll explain the part on your molecular formula later. Okay, then for this chemical equation, you need to memorize it. It's not as straightforward as the one you've done it. Okay, I will not expect you to write down the chemical formula for KMNOH because you realize that the other side product form is very complicated. Okay, so to make things simpler, right, they actually do it in this way. C2H5OH, this is your alcohol. Okay, then you react with your oxidizing agent in this case. Oh, if you're wondering why alcohol has a state symbol of AQ, right? They don't use pure alcohol because one is very, very volatile and it's actually very flammable. So usually they'll mix with a bit of water. So this is AQ. Then your product form will be your ethanoic acid plus water as a side product. Okay, so this symbol here stands for your oxidizing agent. If you put in KMNOH, right, then you're going to end up with many other side products, which your formula gets very complicated for you to understand. So to simplify it, you just put a bracket O. Okay, so only when you use your potassium manganate 7 solution as the oxidizing agent for this reaction, you represent it with a bracket O. Okay, Okay, so this is oxidation using the chemical in the laboratory. Second type of oxidation, we call it the bacterial oxidation, which is over here. So for bacterial oxidation, right, what you need to do is you just need to open a can of your alcohol, which is basically the wine. Leave it in the open, it actually reacts with oxygen in the air and it undergoes bacterial oxidation. So even for wine or alcohol that tastes sweet, right, you leave it in the atmosphere for the next 10-15 minutes, the alcohol or the wine will taste sour instead. Carboxylic acid are acid, so all acid has this physical property where they taste sour. So it comes back to this again. Okay, so component in air that causes your bacterial oxidation, oxygen gas. Okay, oxygen gas. Okay, then you move on to your next page, right? Okay, so observation, you just add it in. Your purple acidify potassium manganate solution will turn colorless. So if they ask you for observation, please remember to write it like that. Turn colorless can also be represented by the term decolorizes. The more important one is make sure you remember this color. If you don't write this color, you tell me whatever happens, you get 0. Original color for potassium manganate must always be stated. Oh, CH3COH. You go back to the structure here. Can you see this is CH3? So this part, CH3, is here. COOH is a functional group for carboxylic acid. So it's actually the one in orange box up here. Okay? Don't worry about the formula because you look at it again when you do your worksheet 2 later on. Any questions from the rest? Okay, so add in the observation.